podcast of Tibetan Kung Fu. Whether you're a first-time listener, if you've been listening to the other podcasts, and or if you're a student, first I appreciate you just taking the time to join us today in episode 4, Boots on the Ground. We just finished our lunchtime class. Set of Qigong, about 45 minutes worth of meditation, Yang 24, and Rilin So Tai Chi. That just went beautifully. I want to take a few moments and recognize some of the support and feedback that we've gotten over this past week. And the first is I wanted to recognize my son. He's 11, and he took quite a bit of time to help me record our Boots on the Ground meditation. Something that he and I personally, we do at the house, and we work together, keep each other in balance, and help me be a better father, and him learning how to be a young man. Our Boots to Ground meditation is where we take 3 minutes to find what we're grateful for being here. Remind ourselves to have respect for others and expect the same. And then we go through our priority list.
Boots to the Ground meditation.
Keen and I wanted to share with you our Boots to the Ground meditation that he and I do almost each day to help us both set our day off in the right direction. Generally, we get up and we'll get down on our knees to remind ourselves to be humble. And it goes as follows. We're very grateful to be here today to have the opportunity to share this day and be together. I'm always very proud to be your dad and very grateful to have the opportunity to be here with you, son.
I'm very grateful I can be here with you. Love you, Dad.
Love you too, son. Each day, we remind ourselves to treat others with respect and to expect the same.
We treat others with respect and we expect the same.
And we remind ourselves of our top 5 priorities. The first is our health, because without it, everything else will go away.
First is our health, because everything else will go away.
The second priority is our family, the people that watch out for us. And we're reminded that family is not necessarily the people that have our blood, but the people that have our back.
Number 2, it's not always about people having our blood. It's about people having our back.
Number 3 is our mind, our education, because our mind will transcend our body.
Number 3, the mind would transcend your body.
Priority number 4 is our team, the people that we work with and the people that we've made commitments to.
Priority 4, the people that we make commitment to.
Number 5, after all the others are done, is our joys and our pleasures.
Priority 5 is our joys, our pleasures, and our playtime.
We remind ourselves of these simple priorities each day to get our boots on the ground and pointed in the right direction.
Put our boots on the ground and point them in the right direction.
Let's start our day off well.
Love you.
Okay, love you too, son. We've got some exciting news. We got an endorsement from Independent Living Facility as well as an assisted living facility that the work that we're doing helps their residents, and that they're excited about the delivery of our Reeling Silk Tai Chi Qigong program, and that we are able to help them feel better. We look forward to that releasing at iTunes, Amazon, and Google, some of the other places, and we'll let you know more about that when it's time. You can also now find us at Stitcher, so with the iPhone, the Droid, and you can just go to the website and download the podcast from there. A little bit about the title, Boots on the Ground. My son and I, we have a little promise between each other that we help each other be better. And that sometimes takes us some real effort because we do have our moments. And I do believe he's going to grow up to be a fine man one day. We start our days and we get on our knees or we sit down to remind ourselves to be humble. We find something to be grateful for, and you'll hear about that in the meditation. We treat others with respect, and we expect the same. These are all to just set us a foundation, put our boots on the ground. Pointing them in the right direction is the part of having our priorities. The priorities, as we go through them, are in an order that is particular of making decisions. So that when we're going through our day, we don't necessarily have to make conscious decisions because the priorities have already made them for us. Now, of course, these don't cover everything, but for him and I, they cover enough. And so far, we find that it's extremely helpful. And on some mornings when I can't be there, some time ago I had recorded it just so that it's on his phone and he can sit down and walk through it, even if I had to leave early that morning. Well, when we decided to do this episode, he agreed to help me. And we were going to do this at home, but the dogs wouldn't cooperate, so we decided to do it here at the Queen. I encourage you to find a way to give yourself a moment of pause so that you can separate yourself from the days past and separate yourself from the worry of the days to come. To take a few moments, put your boots on the ground today, face what's in front of you today, and to put your best foot forward, which means you have a direction. Now, of course, your priorities will be perhaps a little different than the ones we set up for ourselves, but it doesn't matter. What matters if you're serving a greater good and trying to make yourself better, by just having a laundry list of priorities, you can get yourself heading in the right direction. For those of you who don't know, we have the Bakwa workshop coming up on July 26th. Dwight will be leading it. It's mostly for beginners, and the group will be small. And by small, I mean we will only allow around 4 to 6 participants, because it is important to us to not just have a workshop, but to make sure that we're doing a good job and that we have the ability to make sure we're watching you so that if you're participating, you've got enough attention on you to make sure that you're doing things right, that you feel like you are heading in the right direction. Continue to send us your feedback. You can go to TibetanKungFu.net/contact and send us an email from there. And if you'd like to get the MP3 of the Boots on the Ground meditation separate of this podcast so that you can listen to it at your convenience, TibetanKungFu.net/Boots on the Ground, one word. Thank you so much for joining us.
Boots to the Ground Meditation.